Hi. Well, last night was Halloween, and I'm probably not going to be posting this until tomorrow, but Halloween was over, and I had gone to bed and was snuggling in with two cats and a dog and sleeping soundly, and at 1:30 in the morning, my doorbell rang, and I thought, oh, for crying out loud. So I got my house coat and I put that on me and went to answer the door at 1:30 in the morning with a little bit of fear and trepidation. But I answered it and there was nobody there. They were gone, totally gone. So I thought, oh, for crying out loud, at least I'm glad they're gone. So I started to go back to bed and I noticed that a couple night lights, my night lights weren't on. And I thought, boy, it really is dark in here. And so I tried turning on another light and another. I had no lights anywhere in the house. I had no electricity in the house anywhere. And I thought, what's going on? So I went out and I thought, I wonder what's going on with this electricity thing. And I saw that the street lights were on. And I went, as I could see down and went down a little ways, I could see that there were lights on some of the houses. Now it's going on, like going toward 2 o'clock in the morning. But I thought, it's just my house that's got no electricity in it. I wonder what happened. But I was so tired. I just thought, oh, I'll worry about it in the morning. So I came back in, locked the door again, and just hoping the doorbell wouldn't ring again. And because I thought Halloween ended at midnight, but evidently not. It's going on, well, now it's 2 o'clock in the morning. So I went back to bed and we all got snuggled in again. But my brain wouldn't go to sleep. And I was just thinking of all the possibilities of what's wrong with my house. And I was imagining all these different scenarios. And I thought, oh, Deb, go to sleep. But I couldn't. And I had no power at all. So at the crack of dawn this morning, I just couldn't wait. I thought, I got to go out and look at my fuse box outside. So I went out, looked at the fuse box, and here somebody had kind of torqued it and ripped it off of its hinge and opened it up, and they took all of my, what do you call those things, the different switches, and some were going this way, some were going this way, and anyway, nothing was working. Somebody had messed with my fuse box overnight, and they had the nicety or the audacity to ring my doorbell first and let me know they were going to mess me up. So I was going down the street and looking at people's fuse boxes at the crack of dawn. Yeah, my flashlight. But their fuse boxes were all locked up and safe. And, it's lucky I didn't get arrested, like for a peeping Tom or a prowler or something. It's a good thing I wasn't wearing my Swampwater hat. I'd be in jail for sure. So I came home and I almost wanted to cry because there have been so many little things lately that have just been irritating the daylights out of me. Things that go wrong that normally shouldn't go wrong, but they've been doing it this week. And this just took the cake. So a couple of you messaged me so sweetly and said I ought to tell the police. So I told the police. They came over and took a report. And then my neighbor next door, and here's the good part. He was talking to the policeman also, like my fuse box was the center of attraction right then. And the police took down the report and said, just in case there's others that have the same problem. But my neighbor was so sweet. He went back into his garage and he got out a screwdriver, and he found in his junk drawer in the garage a padlock that was just the right size. So he came over and he fixed and straightened out my door for me on the fuse box, electrical box, and then he gave me that padlock. He had no use for it. So now it's all straight, looking good, and padlocked up. And he told me which way the fuses ought to go for what. And they're all written down. So I'm back up and running again. But I just didn't sleep all night because of that doorbell ringing and causing all that trouble. Anyway, things in life, and like I say, there's been other things that have really not gone right for me this week at all. And they start piling up on us. But the Lord tells us that He'll help us through it. So we're to keep our minds stayed on the Lord, and He can bring peace in what normally would have me go, I can't take this anymore. That's the way I feel inside. But the Lord does bring peace, believe me. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. And that's my possum trot story, only there's an awful lot of truth in it. Anyway, I had to share that with you. Just be at peace. I found out wonderful things about my new neighbors, and that was a very good thing. So that's my story right now. My sob story, and yet my story of finding something wonderful. More Christians should be doing things for each other like that. Be helpful to other people. And sometimes we Christians get kind of showed up sometimes by other people. I'm not saying this man next door isn't a Christian, but he didn't have to say anything at all. He just got to work and he fixed up my door and gave me a padlock. Now, what a wonderful thing to do. We should be conscious of doing some wonderful things for our friends and neighbors, and for those that we don't even know. It can really make their day. It made mine, and I didn't get arrested for going around with my flashlight at night like a stupid old lady. Okay, I love you guys. Bye-bye. Come on.